Hello and welcome to the 9 p.m. news on VOP TV. I am Jerry Appioi.
I am Kayla Abraham, and here are the headlines. Labour kicks as FEC steps down memo demands consultation.
El-Rufai sues Kaduna Assembly over 432 million naira probe.
Government officials funding private varsities with taxpayers' money, government alleges.
Court slates July 5th to hear Ganduje removal suit as APC chairman.
In business, Iteo resumes 50,000 barrel per day production after oil spill in Bayelsa.
And in sport, ex-Nigerian under-23 coach Adepoju expresses interest in managing Super Eagles.
And now the news in full. The Organised Labour yesterday kicked against the Federal Executive Council's decision to step down the memorandum and the report of the Tripartite Committee on new national minimum wage. The head of public relations of the Nigeria Labour Congress, Benson Upa, who criticized the failure of FEC to consider the memo during the FEC meeting, said stepping down the Tripartite Committee report creates room for injurious speculations. The Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, told journalists after the council meeting that the FEC stepped down the memorandum and the new minimum wage to allow for more consultations between President Bola Tinubu, state governors, local government authorities, and the private sector. Idris said the council deferred acting on the memo, given that the federal government is not the sole stakeholder in the national minimum wage issue. The federal government, organized private sector, and Labour had held several meetings on the new minimum wage with the NLC and Trade Union Congress TUC leaders, insisting on 250,000 naira. On the other hand, the federal government, states, and the OPS made a counteroffer of 62,000 naira. However, the state governors argued that they would not sustain any minimum wage higher than 60,000 naira. The Assistant General Secretary of the NLC, Chris Onyeka, said Labour would not accept the latest offer of 62,000 naira and the 100,000 naira proposal made by some individuals and economists.
The Coordinating Minister of Health and Social Welfare, Mohammed Ali Pate, has said that the Bola Tinubu-led administration cannot promise a wage that it cannot afford. Pate asserted that the government has deliberated not to make promises it cannot fulfill. The minister stated this during an interview today. Speaking further, he said the government is committed to improving the welfare and wages of doctors, nurses, and other health workers in the country. He said that in the context of the wage review that is ongoing in the country, with the Salary, Incomes and Wages Commission, submissions had been made to have some adjustment of the remuneration of the health workforce, and that at the end of the year, it's what the economy can afford. He added that one cannot give what one does not have, and so they have to be very deliberate not to promise things that are impossible to fulfill. He appreciated health workers who go abroad for training and return home to offer their professional services to the country.
Both the Senate and House of Representatives announced that lawmakers' break will be cut short and resumption would be tomorrow, Thursday, June 27. The lawmakers were expected to resume on July 2nd from their Sala and end a first session break, but updates given by both chambers of the National Assembly confirmed the early resumption due to important national assignments. This development was confirmed by the chairman of Senate Committees on Media and Public Affairs, Senator Yemi Adaramodu, representing APC Ekiti South, and the clerk of the House of Representatives, Dr. Yahaya Danzaria, respectively. Adaramodu said in his statement that part of the issues that need the attention of the lawmakers include appropriation matters as well as constitutional and electoral matters.
The immediate past governor of Kaduna State, Nasser El-Rufai, appeared in the Federal High Court today to officially support his lawsuit against the Kaduna State House of Assembly and the state government. The former governor initiated the lawsuit to defend his fundamental rights in response to accusations of financial mismanagement. El-Rufai, who served as governor for 8 years, is facing allegations from the House of Assembly that his administration misappropriated 432 billion naira. The Assembly claims that this mismanagement has left the state in significant financial debt. El-Rufai's lawyer Abdul Hakim Mustafa, a senior advocate of Nigeria, filed the fundamental rights suit at the Federal High Court in Kaduna today. El-Rufai's legal team argues that the report was compiled without giving the former governor a fair hearing and therefore should be declared null and void.
The Sokoto State House of Assembly passed a bill that would limit the powers of the Sultan of Sokoto, Alhaji Sa'ad Abubakar III. The proposed legislation, which has passed its first and second readings, would require the Sultan to obtain government approval before appointing kingmakers and district heads. This development comes amid allegations by the Muslim rights concern MURIC that the Sokoto State Governor Ahmed Aliyu was plotting to depose the Sultan. The allegations led to widespread condemnation, with Vice President Kashim Shettima calling on the Sokoto State government to ensure the safety and security of the Sultan. At the Northwest Peace and Security Summit in Katsina State, Vice President Kashim Shettima stressed the importance of protecting the Sultan of Sokoto's well-being. According to the Vice President, the Sultan has immensely contributed to promoting peace and stability in the country. Meanwhile, the Sokoto State government denied the allegations of plans to depose the Sultan, with the state's Information Commissioner Sambo Danchadi clarifying the laws governing traditional ruler appointment remain unchanged and no modifications have been made to the existing legislations.
Data from GovSpend, a portal which documents the presidential village expenditure, indicates that a whopping sum of 244,654,350 naira was spent by Asu Rock for the purchase of and supply of tires in 24 hours. Checks show that the State House made payments for the supply of an unspecified quantity of bulletproof tires and West Lake tires on May 21, 2024, the same week that the President Bola Tinubu marked his first year in office. Documents showed that the sums of 200,583,390, 38,070,000, as well as 6,960,000 naira were respectively paid for these items on the said date. The document revealed that 2 separate payments were made for the purchase and supply of tires, no specified quantity for bulletproof vehicles, and another 5 armored bulletproof tires to Obi Wealth Enterprises Nigeria Limited for the sums of 200,583,390 naira and 38,070,000 naira. A quick search on the Corporate Affairs Commission (CAC) website revealed that the company is inactive.
The United States government unveiled plans to promote chemical security in Nigeria. Speaking in Abuja today at a workshop tagged Promoting Chemical Security for a Safer World, Daniel Rockniak, Senior Director, America Chemical Council (ACC), said the U.S. government has identified Nigeria as one of the most viable countries to promote chemical security for a safer world. According to him, his mission was to talk to stakeholders about how the country could handle responsible chemical distribution. He said that it was imperative to potentially identify the responsible organizations to sponsor responsible care in Nigeria. He stated that the U.S. was not about to replace the regulations on chemical distribution in the country, but to complement them.
President Bola Tinubu has pledged to prioritize preventive measures to combat drug abuse across Nigeria. He made this commitment today during the observance of the International Day Against Drug Abuse and Illicit Trafficking, known as World Drug Day at the State House Conference Center in Abuja. According to United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime, approximately 14.4% of Nigerians' population aged 15 to 64 is affected by drug abuse, significantly higher than the global average of 5.6%. Commonly abused substances in Nigeria include cannabis, opioids like tramadol and codeine, as well as cough syrups containing codeine or dextromethorphan. President Tinubu, represented by Senator George Akume, the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, expressed concern over the devastating impact of illicit drugs on individuals, families, communities, and countries worldwide.
The United Nations General Assembly observes June 26 each year as the International Day Against Drug Abuse and Illicit Trafficking, reaffirming its commitment to enhancing action and cooperation for a drug-free international society. This global observance highlights the urgent need for collective action against the devastating effects of drug abuse and illegal trafficking. VPTV's Jerry Ekpalohai has the rest of this report.
On June 26th, the world unites to observe the International Day Against Drug Abuse and Illicit Drug Trafficking. This day serves as a poignant reminder of the global impacts of drug abuse and the urgent need for collective action. The UNODC World Drug Report provides crucial insights into the scale and complexity of the drug problem worldwide, highlighting the profound social, economic, and health implications. In Nigeria, the Sport Writers Association of Nigeria Lagos chapter recently organized the second National Symposium. This gathering brought together key stakeholders from the NDLEA, Nigerian Police, Health Ministries, and sport community to address the scourge of drug abuse.
So NDLEA is advocating, sensitizing the general public to flee from substance abuse. We have different intervention packages, starting from prevention. Prevention is better than cure. We appeal that if it is possible, let us prevent the use of substance. Prevention is all about delaying the initiation of substance use, and even if somebody has already initiated, that it should not develop to dependence, because that dependence is the problematic area. Dependence is a chronic relapsing brain disease that takes a lot of time, energy, it affects everybody. So that is another. The next intervention is treatment. Those that are already hooked on drugs, they need treatment, they need help, they need to be referred so that through counseling, some medication assisted. It's not NDLEA that does that. The Ministry of Health takes care of the medication assisted. All these people that indulge in drugs, they are victims. They can no longer help themselves. So we appeal to all and sundry to refer all those people that are already hooked. That's another intervention, that they may receive the commensurate help to salvage our nation from this time bomb that is already detonating. We used to say that that drug abuse is a time bomb waiting to explode. It is already detonating. It's already exploding. And the scary part of it is that the next 3 years, 4 years, the ones that are introduced to substance in the womb are going to be born. These children will be babies that are already using drugs. So we need education, sensitization, parents, that they should not meddle with this.
Leaders emphasize the critical need for collaborative efforts in prevention, enforcement, and rehabilitation. Their insight underscored the importance of holistic approaches to combat drug abuse and illicit trafficking. Across Nigerian communities are actively engaged in prevention initiatives, from educational campaigns in schools to outreach programs in local neighborhoods. These efforts empower individuals with knowledge and resources to make informed choices and resist the temptations of drug abuse.
Let us join hands together and fight this menace. We can do it together. NDLEA cannot tackle it alone. So all and sundry stakeholders, let's join hands together and fight this menace so that it will not destroy our posterity.
International cooperation is pivotal in addressing the global drug challenge. Collaborative efforts between nations, organizations, and communities facilitate the exchange of best practices, intelligence sharing, and capacity building. As we commemorate this day, let us stand united in advocating for evidence-based strategies and international cooperation. Together, we can create a world where individuals are empowered to lead healthy, fulfilling lives free from the grips of drug abuse. Join us in raising awareness and taking meaningful action. Together, we can build healthier, drug-free communities.
That was a package by VOP TV's Jerry Akpeliohai on drug abuse and illicit trafficking. Stay away from drugs. You're still watching the 9 p.m. news on VOP TV. More stories after the break. Just stay with us.
Health is a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being of an individual. It's the fundamental right of everyone to enjoy the highest attainable standard of health, without distinction of race, religion, or political belief. On VOP TV, we bring you Health Check, a show that x-rays different health issues and provides solutions with the help of experts in the medical field. Join us every Tuesday from 2:30 p.m. to 3 p.m. on Health Check. Health Check on VOP TV. Your health, our priority.
Welcome back. The zonal coordinator of the Academic Staff Union of Universities, Calabar Zone, Dr. Happiness Uduk, has expressed disappointment that government officials are destroying public universities in the country and stealing taxpayers' money to fund their private universities. This is as she threatened that the union would embark on another industrial action within 2 weeks if the federal government did not honor its 2009 renegotiated agreement with the union. Speaking while addressing a protest rally organized by the University of Uyo branch of ASU, Uduk, a senior lecturer in the Department of English at the University of Uyo, alleged that government officials had destroyed public primary and secondary schools and now bent on destroying public universities. The chairperson of ASU, Professor Okpeyemi Olajide, also presents a record that in 2022, public universities embarked on an 8-month strike over the issue and had to come back to classrooms in obedience to the rule of law, regretting that 2 years after, the federal government had yet to honor the agreement and attend to their demands. He explained that the union reached out to relevant authorities to intervene and make the government do the needful to avert any disruption to academic activities, but there was no positive result, stressing that if after 2 weeks nothing was done, the union would shut down the universities and send the students home.
Meanwhile, the federal government delegation and the leadership of the Academic Staff Union of Universities were in a closed-door meeting to discuss the lingering crisis and avert a strike by the union. The federal government delegation is led by the Minister of Education, Tahir Maman, and the meeting between the two parties are holding behind closed doors. The focus of the meeting was to avert the proposed strike by the union. Maman said the meeting would provide an opportunity for both parties to deliberate on issues affecting the university system. The ASU president, Emmanuel Oshodeke, who led the union's delegation, told the media that the meeting was to deliberate on lingering issues affecting the universities to avert the planned strike actions. You do recall that ASU accused the government of failing to fulfill agreements reached with the union and threatened to go on strike once the ultimatum given to the government to uphold its end of the bargain expires. The association also called on President Bola Tinubu to intervene directly in the face-off between the government and the university union to avoid another nationwide strike.
The Federal High Court sitting in Abuja today deferred hearing a suit seeking to remove the national chairman of the ruling All Progressive Congress, Abdullahi Ganduje, from office until July 5th. The court, presided over by Justice Inyang Ekwo, adjourned to allow the litigants to respond to a counter affidavit the embattled APC chairman filed to challenge the competence of the suit. The plaintiffs, led by one Saleh Zazaga, are querying the propriety of Ganduje's appointment as the chairman of the APC. They, among other things, want the court to restrain Ganduje from further parading himself as the chairman of the party. They also pray the court to issue an order directing the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) not to accord recognition to all actions taken by the APC, including congresses, primaries, and nominations since Ganduje became APC chairman on August 3, 2023. The plaintiffs told the court that Ganduje is occupying the office of the APC chairman illegally, not being from a state in the north-central geopolitical zone. They argued that the National Executive Committee, NEC of the APC, acted in breach of the party's constitution when it appointed Ganduje from Kano State in the northwest geopolitical zone to replace Senator Abdullahi Adamu, who is from Nasarawa State in the north-central geopolitical zone. The plaintiffs argued that Ganduje's appointment to replace Abdullahi was contrary to Article 31(5), subsection 1 of the APC Constitution and ought revise the powers of the NEC of the party.
There was a fire outbreak today at the Dangote Petroleum Refinery in the Lekki Free Zone, Lagos. Reacting to the incident, the Chief Corporate Communications Officer of Dangote Group, Anthony Chiejina, disclosed in a statement that the fire was contained and there was no cause for alarm. The statement read, and I quote, "We have swiftly contained a minor fire incident at our effluent treatment plant ETP today. There is no cause for alarm as the refinery is operating normally and there are no recorded injuries or bodily harm to any of our staff on duty," end quote.
Dangote Group has released an official statement over the fire incident at its refinery earlier today. The statement from Dangote Refinery described the fire as minor, adding that it has been contained. Meanwhile, Chris Adelugba, an HSCE fire prevention consultant with C2C Fire Limited, shared his expert knowledge on what must have transpired.
Prevention experts, what we call health and safety personnel. The Dangote refinery, we believe with the level of refinery Dangote has in place, is of one of the highest standard of technology. And with that, you don't expect such a place not to have precautionary measures in place. So I believe, like you said, it's something that can be well taken care of and has been taken care of. And I'm sure their safety will be beefed up now, and they'll be better after now.
That was an exclusive interview by VOP TV on fire preventive measures with Chris Adelugba. Moving on, in a decisive move against illegal oil bunkering in Abia State, the Nigerian Army conducted raids in illegal mining site at Obiako in Ukwa West local government area. 17 suspects have been arrested in connection with the illicit activities. This follows the apprehension of 7 individuals last Friday at Isimmiri Waterside in the same area. Speaking from the illegal refinery site, General Officer Commanding 82 Division, Major General Hassan Dada, accompanied by Brigadier General Lushola Dia, Commander of 14th Brigade, Nigerian Army highlighted the severity of the operation. General Dida emphasized the ongoing nature of the crackdown extending across the joint Operation Udoka area.
The Abia State chapter of the People's Democratic Party (PDP) urged the Governor Alex Oti provide a list of 90 roads rehabilitated in 1 year of his administration. The PDP also asked the Abia State Governor to announce the cost of the road contract as well as show proof that due process and the provisions of the Abia Public Procurement Act were followed in the award of the road rehabilitation project. In a statement signed by the party's acting publicity secretary, Elder Amar Abraham, the party urged Oti to name the 90 roads he rehabilitated in 1 year for the people of the state to verify. In the statement, the Abia PDP challenged the Governor Alex Oti to produce a list of the state 90 roads he rehabilitated and the costs associated with the road contract, as well as show proof that due process and the provisions of the Abia Public Procurement Act were followed in the award of the contract. They added that Governor Alex Oti must release the list so that Abians could verify it.
A chieftain of the All Progressives Congress APC in Anambra State, Pope Amefuna, has warned the party against fielding any candidate outside the Southern Senatorial Zone as it may disrupt the existing zoning formula in the state. He gave the warning during an interview with journalists in Awka, adding that the easiest way for APC to lose the state in 2025 would be to field any candidate from any zone other than the South. Anambra State Governor Professor Chukwuma Soludo, who is doing his first term, is also from the zone. Amefuna stated that some people have been trying to champion the non-adherence to the zoning in the state because they have an ulterior motive, but stated that doing so may lead the party to lose next year's election.
The Edo State House of Assembly announced that Mr. Bright Iyamu, one of 3 suspended lawmakers in the state, have been recalled. Bright Iyamu, member representing Orion 1 South, elected on the PDP platform, was suspended on May 6 alongside 2 others over an alleged plot to impeach the Speaker and other principal officers of the Assembly. The 2 lawmakers who are still on suspension are Donald Okogbe, PDP Akoko Edo 2, and Ade Isibo, APC Esan Northeast 1. However, the Edo State Speaker, Blessing Agbebaku, while announcing the lifting of the suspension during plenary on Monday, said that the House had found Iyamu to be remorseful, hence his recall. Meanwhile, shortly after Iyamu's recall, other lawmakers took turns to appeal to the Speaker to consider lifting the suspension of the 2 remaining lawmakers. The Speaker, in his reaction, noted that the Isibo had taken the matter to court.
Meanwhile, Justice Obiora Iguatu of the Federal High Court in Abuja has struck out a suit seeking to prohibit Barrister Aswa Ighodalo for being represented as the governorship candidate of the People's Democratic Party (PDP) for the forthcoming Edo State governorship election. The judge threw out the suit instituted by an aggrieved PDP governorship aspirant, Anselm Ogiezu, on the ground that the case was premature at the time it was filed on March 6. Delivering judgment in the suit today, Justice Iguatu held that the plaintiff, Anselm Ogiezu, failed to explore the mandatory internal mechanism of PDP to ventilate his anger before rushing to court. Justice Iguatu agreed with lead counsel to Ighodalo, Akinlolu Kende, a senior advocate of Nigeria, SAN, that it was wrong and a breach of PDP mandatory rule on the part of Ogiezu to have sidelined the appeal panel of PDP in the resolution of his dispute before filing the case. Ogiezu had sued Ighodalo, the PDP, and the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, praying for an order cancelling the February 22 primary elections that produced Ighodalo as the PDP's gubernatorial candidate. But Justice Iguatu held that since it is mandatory for any aggrieved governorship aspirant to explore internal dispute mechanism resolution before approaching a court of law, Ogiezu is bound to comply with the rule like any other aspirant.
The Federal High Court in Abuja, headed by Justice Obiara Igwatu, will deliver judgment on the authentic Labour Party governorship candidate in Edo State on July 22nd, 2024. The legal battle is between the party's candidate, Mr. Olumide Akpata, and Barrister Kenneth Imanu Songbon. Another Federal High Court in Benin City, Edo State, had on June 11, 2024, also fixed July 19, 2024, to deliver judgment on the Labour Party governorship primary election. The plaintiff alleged, among other things, that Akpata did not follow the electoral guidelines in the primaries and that he did not fill out and sign the indemnity form. At the resumption of the hearing in Abuja yesterday before Justice Egwatu, counsels to both the plaintiff and the defendant adopted written addresses after 3 hours of legal crossfire by the party's legal representatives. The counsel to Masubon, A.A. Balik, SAN, led 9 other lawyers in asking the court to declare the plaintiff the winner of the Labour Party primaries. They argued that the defendant violated the Electoral Act and the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) guidelines and was, therefore, not qualified to stand as the Labour Party governorship candidate. Counsel to the defendant, J.J. Usman, SAN, asked the court to dismiss the applications of the plaintiff for lack of merit and argued that the issue of name raised by the plaintiff, Olumide, should also be dismissed and noted that Akpata Olumide Anthony and Akpata Olumide Osaiwovo is the same person. Justice Ogwatu subsequently fixed July 22nd, 2024 for judgment.
The Nigerian Army today announced the deployment of 177 personnel for a peacekeeping mission in Guinea-Bissau. The Chief of Operations, Nigerian Army Major General Boniface Sinjen, made the announcement at the graduation ceremony of troops of Nigerian Company 3 ECOWAS Stabilization Support Mission in Guinea-Bissau at Martin Luther Agwai International Leadership and Peacekeeping Center, Jaji. Sinjin said Guinea-Bissau is grappling with political instability and institutional crisis, which pose a significant threat to peace and sustainable development in the sub-region. He, however, said the Nigerian government, through ECOWAS, stood united with the government and people of Guinea-Bissau. He added that the graduation reaffirmed their unwavering commitment to supporting the government of the Republic of Guinea-Bissau to consolidate its authority. This is in order to address the security challenges, strengthen democratic governance, and foster stability in the country. Sinjin urged them to embody the core values of the armed forces of Nigeria and refrain from any actions that could compromise the mission's objectives or undermine the nation's reputation. You're also watching the 9 p.m. news on VOP TV. Coming up is business, sport, and entertainment stories. Stay with us.
Welcome back. And now to business. Nigerian energy firm RTO has resumed production in its Nimbe field in Bayelsa State following a successful containment of an oil leak. The field, which produces nearly 50,000 barrels per day, was shut down as a precautionary measure after the leak was discovered during routine operations. RTO's dedicated team implemented enhanced safety protocols to prevent further future incidents. The Nembe Creek facility, the largest of 11 fields under RTO's oil mining lease, also produces significant natural gas for the Nigerian liquefied natural gas LNG plant at Bonny Island. Despite the environmental challenges, recent months have seen an increase in oil output, providing some relief to the region's economy.
Nigerian music executive Paul Okoye, better known as Polo, has slammed social media critic Very Dark Man for disrespecting his lover-calm Nollywood actress Iyabo Ojo. VOPTV News reports that VDM, as he is fondly called in a video shared online, claimed that Iyabo Ojo was not invited to the main wedding of Afrobeat star Davido and his wife Chioma. He claimed that the movie star was only invited to the after party, and many Instagram skate makers sneaked into the wedding, including Nollywood actress Nkechi Blessing, who almost got bounced at the venue. Reacting via the comment section of a blog post, Paulo claimed that VDM is cursed, and it is unfortunate that he has to live in such a condition for the rest of his life.
And now to sport, ex-international Motiu Adepoju has expressed interest in coaching the Super Eagles following the resignation of Finidi George. Adepoju was part of the Nigerian team that won the 1994 African Cup of Nations and played with the Flying Eagles at the FIFA Under-20 World Cup in Saudi Arabia, has stated he is open to coaching the Super Eagles if the opportunity arises. The former Real Madrid star, who holds a UEFA Pro coaching license, revealed his willingness to return to coaching in the Managing Madrid podcast, hinting at the possibility of taking over the vacant coaching position for the Super Eagles. The 53-year-old was part of Nigerian squads for the FIFA World Cups in 1994, 1998, and 2002.
And to wrap up the 9 p.m. news at VOP TV, we'll take a recap of the stories that made it to the headlines earlier. You heard that Labour kicks as FEC steps down memo, demands consultation.
El-Rufai sues Kaduna Assembly over 432 billion naira probe.
Government officials funding private universities with taxpayers' money, government alleges.
Court slates July 5 to hear Ganduje removal suit as APC chairman.
In business, Aiteo resumes 50,000 barrel per day production after oil spill in Bayelsa.
Sports, where ex-Nigerian under-23 coach Adepoju expresses interest in managing Super Eagles. Many thanks for watching the news at 9 on VOP TV. I am Jerry Alpilian.
And I am Kayla Abraham.
Good
Good
evening.
evening.